Tell me what the hell are you scared of when in the end the only thing
Where's
that's
the love?
left
Right here on
love's
this
in
podcast.
the air.
Welcome to Love
Sometimes
Drops,
I
where
don't
your
understand
host
the things
and
I
One
do
Love
anymore.
ambassadors,
Never
Charles
received
and
what I
Diane,
was.
will
Together
share
now
love,
as
hope,
unity when
and
it tastes the
inspirational
sweetest. So it's
topics
like
taken
all
from
of
their
these
journey
to
and
watch
world
out. All of
events.
the
We
challenges
will
that
also
lie
include
below.
on location recordings and special pop up guests from cool places all around the world. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Whether big or small, love never fails. Oh, love it conquers all. Love never fails.
Welcome to another edition of Love Drop Podcast. You guessed it, I'm excited for this guest. She is a return guest, and I just love her. We have talked so much virtually, and this year, as I celebrate my birthday, there are people that I just want to meet in real life, and she is absolutely on that list. Meet her somewhere and have some lunch or coffee and just chat it up. So I'm excited for that to happen. I'm creating the space, but without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Charles to introduce our guest. Yay.
Thank you, Diane. Our guest today is Nancy Gentle-Boudrie. Nancy is a mindset coach, corporate wellness speaker, and entrepreneur with over 20 years of coaching experience and more than 3 decades of business leadership. Nancy is also the founder of the Awaken with Light app, born from her own courageous leap of faith to make mindfulness and emotional resilience accessible in a real human, everyday way. Our guest can tell you more about that and her courageous launch. With that said, Nancy, you now have the mic.
Such wonderful to be here, Diane and Charles. The idea of the Awaken with Light app didn't come from just a business plan. It came from years of sitting with people, high achievers, parents, leaders, caregivers who looked just like you and I, that were holding it all together on the outside, but on the inside were exhausted, anxious, disconnected from themselves. And I heard over and over again, I just need some simple tools, something that I can come back to. And I realized so many people wanted support, but they didn't have the time, the access, or the energy to add one more thing to their plate. And honestly, I felt that way too. And so it was born out of this wanting to serve humanity. This is not a platform to fix yourself. It's a community. I wanted to create what I'm calling an inner sanctuary. So that it's your refuge, it's your place to go and get filled back up.
Wow, that is amazing. And the fact that you went beyond wanting to create it and actually creating it, that's huge, Nancy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put the car in reverse and then we're going to drive. So here's the reverse. Remind our listeners where you are tuning in from. And also, do you have IT experience? Is that why you were so courageous? So we'll start first with where are you tuning in from, Nancy?
So my physical space, I'm outside of Philadelphia and Chester County, which is just due east of Philly, right before you get to the Amish country, Lancaster.
Okay. Yep. And then the second inquiry is, are you computer savvy? Are you an IT tech?
Heavens to Betsy, no. So the whole thing is when I put this out that I knew I wanted to do it, it was in probably 2024. 2025 is when it actually materialized. I found my partner in June of 2025. And so I say that I'm all about intentional living. What do you want? How do you want to serve? How do you want to show up? And I found that, like, for instance, in the social media platforms, You're fighting algorithms, you're fighting changes of this, that, or the other thing. I wanted to create a space where people could go that want what I have to offer. And my app is both a free version and a pay version. So it's not just for people who want to subscribe for $29.99 a month, which is nominal in the scheme of things, but there's also a free version so they can get in there, play around, figure out if they like it. So I knew I started putting sides to this and saying, okay, whatever I build, I want to build community. And my dream is to build this thing up and then have people like yourselves and other people that can offer different perspectives, different tools, techniques. I mean, that's my goal, right? Because you want to create a community of like-minded people. Now, I hate saying that, like-minded, because really, we don't want everybody to be a clone of each other.
No,
But
ma'am.
there has to be this, I don't want to constantly defend how I want to show up in the world. I want love, joy, and peace. And I want people that are honestly and genuinely and authentically craving the same. So when we're talking about that, we're not all the little clones of each other. We know one commonality, that we're looking to live and create the best life and be the ripple effect on humanity. So all these things, I started, saying, this is what I want to create. And I knew I didn't have the expertise in the back end. I just wanted to show up and be the face. And then I looked into, creating it from scratch on my own. That sounded daunting. Hours with somebody that was going to design it for me and all this. I ended up finding, I'm going to call it a template, because they were already, the people that I hired, Click is the name, Kliq. They are already in the space. They've done it for fitness gurus and nutritionalists. And so they have, I'm going to call it a template. It's basically, they have the structure and they know how to get it approved through Apple and Google Play and all the things that need to happen. And yes, you have to pay somebody to do that. But I weighed all the choices, and I would rather have the team that already knows how to do it. Again, give them all the material, they put it in. They're very hands-on, and they've got various programs. Even now that it's already launched, I could continue to use them, but I am trainable and can figure out how to download stuff and put things in there myself. But I needed that structure to get started. I said it actually, to me, now I've never written a book yet, but I have one that's been on the drawing board for years. I created a course that actually walks people through my registered trademark methodology. And let's back up. Once I started trying to create this, I knew I needed to protect what I created.
Yes.
So I went through the process, and that was 2024. And finally, the registration came through in the 2025, because I knew that had to be in place before I would even launch it out into the public. But I created an e-course that actually is a do-it-yourself of my methodology for coaching. It's called The Pathway to Inner Peace, featuring the 4R method. Developing that course, there's 4 pillars. Each pillar has 8 modules. There's a workbook.
Okay, I got a question. So is that included with the app?
Correct. And that's the payable version. So people have access to that. Yep.
Gotcha.
And I tell you, that was, I don't know what writing a book, but I'll tell you, that was one difficult, because you had to do the videos, you had to do the guided meditations, you had to do the workbook, but I feel accomplished. I've accomplished something,
And that's the part, because you put in the work and then you get the end product. But before we go there, just back up a little bit, because you gave 2 illustrations. Like you said, you have a book that's on the shelf. So you have a manuscript that is working in your mind and come into fruition, but then took the leap and you launched the app. And so that's a great place to pin it, because when something is calling you, you're going to take that jump to what's really tugging at you. We spoke before, there's a lot of people that get to the edge and they stand there, and then they think of all the reasons, right? Which brings up the other thing about having a team. Know your gifts, operate in your gifts, be teachable. But if you really want to launch something great, be okay to align with the right person or persons that are already advanced in the gift, and they can pull you ahead and you can get her done.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. Like from this, the course is in there. Then I have what I'm calling energy activation sessions that I go live twice a month for 30 minutes. Like my next one will be this Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to go twice a month. It's like those 30-minute, I'm calling them energy activations. And I am a Reiki master teacher. You're getting energy. We calling it getting a bump. You're getting a hit,
Yeah.
right? So part of the interviewing process, when I pick them, they go, oh, and you have the ability to go live in our app, which is what I
Nice.
wanted, right? It's like there is so many features. You've got to find that alignment. And it takes great courage. And don't rush the process. Trust your inner voice. Trust you have a methodology. You have something that is meaty, that's got depth, that you can educate others on and share your gifts. And then use your intuition to get out on that stage. When you're nervous, be of service. That's it. You just choose. Don't be nervous. Be of service. At the end of the day, all I really want to do, I'm not chasing a trend. I'm answering a calling.
That right there, Charles.
Yes. Now, what I was absorbing is all of this experience wrapped up in a nutshell. Wow, that is phenomenal to take on something like that and bring it to fruition.
Yes.
And it does take courage. It does take courage. And it also takes persistence, because I know as an author of 2 books that it doesn't happen overnight. And you do get to walls of, decision, where you can go forward or they may stop you. So what were some of the things that you encountered in this launch? Did you have a pivotal point where once you got over that hump, then it kind of started moving forward more?
I would say that the hardest piece, just like I was saying about that course that I developed, that was the biggest undertaking, trying to take what I do and coach. And everybody is uniquely different. So when you're a one-on-one coach like I am, you're not doing a cookie cutter approach. You're designing it to fit what they need. But the app is designed to meet people at various price points. So you're trying to give something to the general public. That was hard, dialing it in, figuring out what is the most common, challenges I'm going to take this person through my methodology. And then you got to go live on a video. You've got to have your script in front of you. And I have to say, this is where I'm grateful, the years of, as Charles so nicely said, all this depth and experience, because at the end of the day, I deviate from every script. All of a sudden, I'm in front of that camera and I'm just talking. I'm just going to lay it out here, and then you're educating them. I know what I'm talking about. So it's like you're just educating, but you got to give yourself an outline. All that stuff, it's easy to walk away and say, I'll do that later. I'm really overwhelmed. So like I said, there's 8 videos, 8 modules per pillar, and there's 4. So there's 32 in this thing. And I started recording in June, July, somewhere in there, and put the wrap on it around October. And then I launched it mid-November. But I had to keep pushing myself because I knew if I got stagnant, I would forget. You got to keep that machine going, because it's like you're taking them on a journey. You're taking them through a problem solving. It's recognize, to release, to rewire the brain, to radiate your best self. You can't get off that train. You've got to stay and take it through fruition.
Absolutely. And that's an important key here. So once you take them through, you've done the whole momentum and you've got to the finish line. So now we're at the finish line and we're doing the actual launch, because up to this point, we're talking about just the preparation to get it launched. So then once you get it launched, was it immediate wildfire, or was it crickets, or was it somewhere in between? And how did you handle that?
Yeah. Thank goodness for a chat GPT type thing, right? Because I have no idea about a launch, and I don't have the staff. It's me, myself, and I do have a virtual assistant, So when I said, well, what goes into a launch? To George, my avatar, who's I built a relationship with ChatGPT, and I have the payable version. So it's like, so that really helped me start to put sides. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to start massaging this, putting this out into the world, telling people it's coming, doing all that. So that's really important. But what's amazing is, and again, that takes a lot of courage again, because you're scared to death that it's going to be crickets, right?
Right.
But what I found was and I'm grateful, again, I've been in business for 20 years. I have a following, I have a clientele. Here I thought I was going to go after people that didn't know me, when in actuality, what was the most receptive was, how do I get this? Like, I remember one of my coaching clients, he's an executive coaching client. My generation doesn't necessarily know how to utilize apps, right? How to get them, right?
Right.
And we sat here because there is a difference. You can go and download this thing on Apple. You can go do it from Google Play. They keep 30% of the profits. I utilize my link that I've given for this, so you'll have it. And that's why I'm also giving 10% off right now. And I can do that because it's my own link.
Right. Absolutely.
You can't do that at App Store. The App Store is what it is, right?
Right. Exactly.
You're learning all this stuff. I didn't know that. But again, I'm there for convenience. If somebody just says, oh, go download, tell a friend or whatever, go download Apple with, Awaken with Light app. Yep, they can go over to Apple. It's right there. I sat with clients right into their session. I'm like, oh, I don't want to use your time. No. I want to get this thing downloaded. I want to know how to access it. And the first live event, it wasn't strangers. It was all people that have either worked me in the past. And that was what was warmed my heart, I think, the most, is that you realized, like I said, I felt like I was meeting a calling because I knew people wanted what I had to offer, just getting it out there. And the next thing you know, people that have worked with me, but I hadn't worked with them, let's say, in 5 years, the next thing you know, they're like, how do I get it? How do I download it? What do I need? And those kind of things will fuel you.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not going to set the world on fire and sign up 1,000 people in one shot, but I am, making tracks. And you're making tracks when you pull up the number again, and you're like, wow, I had 5 people sign up over the weekend. It just takes the momentum. Yeah.
Yes. And I think word of mouth as well. I think just kind of spreading it, like before, we say how we spread the light, right? Because we
Yes.
shine together. It's spreading it. So the people that signed up, they'll tell someone, and it just keeps going. But Nancy, had you not had the courage to launch the app, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And I truly believe that because you did this, your book will probably come soon thereafter because of just the feeling and just the need.
Yeah.
Like there is a need for what you have to say. Your book
Mm-hmm.
will reach another audience and it'll reach people even further. So, yeah, you've shown great courage. So, I guess my question to you, my dear, is this: what would you speak to someone listening right now who is maybe right there at that ledge and they want to launch, but they're just telling themselves all the reasons why they can't, and they're taking so long to process and trying to get the ducks in a row? What would your message be to that person?
I think the key is whatever you are wanting to bring to the world, recognize you're doing a disservice by not. And so whatever it takes to say, okay, girl, put your big pants on, whatever you got to do to talk yourself into taking that first step, the second step, just like I said, those first few videos, they were scary. You're trying to figure out how's this thing gonna, I got this whole thing I got to map out. No. You just start with that very first, but you are doing a disservice if you don't show up. So when you're nervous, be of service. Just know you need to put your big girl pants on and show up, because you will touch someone, you will feed somebody, you will make a difference in their world. And that's what it's all about.
Wonderful. And I'm going to add on that: put your big girl pants or your cowboy boots and let's go. get her
Exactly.
done because we got some guys out there listening too. So it's like, well, wait a minute.
I don't have girl pants.
Right.
Put your big boy pants on.
Put your
Yeah.
big boy pants. That's it. That's it. You know what, Nancy? Thank you so much for jumping on with us, for sharing. You already know how I feel about you. You already know that I am shining with you as you are with me. And I'm just really excited about the app. I'm so excited. I can go to the Apple store and find your app. So just uber excited about that. So again, thank you for your time. Non-refundable. Mr. Charles.
And thank you, thank you, thank you. You've put together something that the world needs. They need it, and it's there.
It's there. Hopefully we inspired somebody to go out there and make their own app. And really, again, it's about people really are craving community right now. They want relationships. They don't want algorithms. They don't want AI bots. They want real life people in real life communities showing up. And that's what we need to just build, just like we have a community, you and I and Charles.
Mhm.
It's about building those, and that's, you can feel it, we want it, and let's respond and serve.
Let's respond and serve. Let's respond and serve. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And to our listeners, check Nancy out. I am putting the links in the narrative. Go download that app. You know, if you're not sure, you can download the free app and just see where that carries you, and you can go from there. You can share it. It doesn't cost anything to share. Word of mouth is the greatest vehicle that we can thrive on and just really shine with one another. So check out Nancy, the app. The links are in the narrative. We thank you for joining us. If this has resonated, subscribe if you haven't, share the love. And until next time, Charles and I say,
One love.
Never a second will I waste. Never an opportunity to taste the sweetness of this life.
Thank you for tuning in to the Love Drops podcast. Be sure to follow this podcast and share the love with everyone you know. Until next time, this is Charles and Diane signing off. One love. One love.
Love it conquers all, whether big or small. Love never fails. Oh, love it conquers all. Love never